Most men don't realize this habit is quietly destroying their respect. They speak too fast. Their tone rises without warning. Their words rush out before their mind has fully settled. And the room notices. Not consciously, not with malice, but instinctively. By the time the sentence is finished, people have already decided how seriously to take him. Watch what happens when a man speaks with a thin, tight, unstable voice. He gets interrupted. His opinions are treated like suggestions, not statements. In group settings, his presence fades the moment he stops talking. In relationships, explanations get longer while respect quietly shrinks. Women don't argue aggressively. They do something subtler. They stop engaging fully. They multitask while he speaks. They test him emotionally because his voice has already signaled uncertainty. Other men sense it too. They talk over him without hesitation. They don't look to him for guidance. They unconsciously rank him lower than he believes he deserves. And the man is confused. He is reasonable, polite, clear, yet nothing lands. Respect isn't responding to his words, it's responding to something beneath them. His voice. Most men assume their voice is just a tool to deliver thoughts. They think if they explain better, if they speak with confidence, or if their words are correct, people will respect them. This is comforting and wrong. Human beings don't evaluate truth first. They evaluate control first. Before meaning is processed, the nervous system asks one simple question. Is this man grounded or is he reacting? A rushed tone signals urgency. A rising pitch signals anxiety. An unstable rhythm signals disorder. None of this is moral, it is biological, and it is noticed instantly. Now, imagine a man who speaks differently. He doesn't force his words to be heard. He doesn't artificially deepen his tone. He is calm. Sentences land with measured space around them. Pauses are natural, not apologetic. He doesn't fill silence with filler. His voice remains steady, even under pressure. When he speaks, the room listens. Interruptions drop. People lean in, not because he demands it, but because his voice signals something rare: self-possession. He does not sound like he is trying to convince. He sounds like he is deciding. And the most important part, he could stop talking entirely and still be respected. His authority is not carried by volume or speed, it is carried by restraint. You have seen this man before. In meetings, in leadership, in rooms where one presence quietly outweighs the rest. He does not dominate, he anchors. The Stoics understood this long before microphones and psychology studies existed. They were never concerned with sounding impressive. They were concerned with governing impulse. A calm voice is not a trick. It is evidence. Evidence that a man is not ruled by urgency, by reaction, or by the need to be approved in the moment. When the mind is disciplined, the body follows. When emotions are restrained, the voice naturally settles. That is why force techniques always fail. You cannot fake calm for long. The voice always leaks the truth. Most men misunderstand the lesson entirely. They think if they learn to sound calm, respect will follow. The truth is the reverse. When you become calm, your voice earns respect. That difference matters. Changing the voice without changing the man only creates tension, and tension always shows in tone. A calm, deep voice is not something you perform. It is something you earn. It comes from removing urgency, from mastering impulse, from no longer needing the moment to go your way. And this is the hard part. Because once you see this, the next step is no longer about sounding better. It is about living in a way that makes calm unavoidable. Most men stop here. They see the truth, but fail to embody it. In the next part, we will uncover what urgency really does to your presence, the behaviors you must stop immediately to regain authority, and the Stoic practices that will change your voice and the respect it commands without forcing it. Now that you understand why a calm, deep voice commands respect, the real work begins. Respect isn't given because of volume, clever words, or even confidence. It is given because your presence communicates control, and control starts with stopping behaviors that sabotage it. The first thing most men must remove is urgency. Every quick reply, every rushed explanation, every need to fill silence signals the opposite of calm authority. Men overcompensate with words, gestures, or forced confidence, but the truth leaks through their tone. Stop. Pause. Breathe. Let your voice match your inner steadiness. If you feel compelled to rush, it means your mind is still reacting, still uncontrolled. Pause anyway. That pause alone tells people more about you than 100 sentences ever could. Next, stop explaining yourself. Every time a man over-explains, he lowers his weight in the room. Politeness misinterpreted as weakness, clarity mistaken for insecurity. Speak to be heard, not understood. A calm, measured voice doesn't need justification. It carries authority inherently. When you let go of the need to explain, the room fills the silence with respect rather than distraction. People lean in not because they are convinced. They lean in because your voice has anchored them. Stop reacting emotionally. Every rise in tone, every crack of nervousness, every hurried word announces submission to the moment. The Stoics called this being ruled by externals. A man who governs himself governs his voice. Emotional restraint is not repression, it is mastery. When your tone does not spike, when your cadence does not falter, the subconscious in every listener reads one simple fact: this man is unshakable. And unshakable men are treated differently, always. Now, what should you practice? Start with presence. Speak slowly, deliberately. Let each word land fully before the next leaves your lips. Let pauses feel intentional. Silence is your ally, not your enemy. Practice speaking in front of mirrors in empty rooms, recording yourself, but focus not on sounding deep. Focus on being calm. Let the depth come naturally from the steadiness of your mind. Next, cultivate your inner authority. A calm voice is a reflection of an ordered interior. Daily routines, discipline, and deliberate restraint train the nervous system to settle. The Stoics understood this centuries ago. Mastery of the self manifests in every action, every breath, every tone. When your mind is unflustered, your voice follows without effort. Work on controlling impulse and small decisions first. The voice will follow naturally. Then, apply it socially. In conversation, pause before replying. Don't fill empty spaces with words out of fear. Match your words to reality, not to expectation. Hold your pitch even under stress. Speak with intention, not urgency. Watch how people respond. Interruptions decrease, attention increases. Your presence grows heavier without trying. Finally, identity lock-in. This is not a technique. It is a statement of self. Decide. I am a man whose voice carries calm authority. Not a performance, not a mask, but a reflection of the self I am building. When you accept that, everything else, cadence, depth, presence, aligns automatically. You don't force respect. You live in a way that makes it inevitable. The transformation is subtle at first. People notice it before they can name it. A colleague pauses slightly when you speak. A woman leans in unconsciously. A man listens, not out of politeness, but instinct. This is the power of calm authority, and it comes from living in accordance with discipline, restraint, and self-mastery. Remember, no technique or vocal trick can replace the internal work. The voice is a mirror of your state. Calmness produces depth. Depth produces authority. Authority produces respect. The chain is unbroken. Skip any link, and the effect falters. Master all of them, and your voice becomes your silent command. Respect compounds the same way discipline does. If you remove urgency, stop explaining, restrain your emotions, and live with internal order, your presence becomes undeniable. Words become secondary. The voice carries weight without effort. Others adjust around you naturally. You no longer need to perform, you simply are. And when you speak, the room listens. Not because you demanded it, not because you shouted, not because you convinced, but because your presence, anchored in calm authority, has reshaped the moment. That is the silent power of a man whose voice and mind are aligned. That is how people respond differently. That is how respect is commanded, instantly and without apology. If this helped, subscribe. Discipline compounds. Comment the word control if you're ready to build a voice that no one can ignore.